Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? I'm just coming today with a review of the Stam Audio SA-87. So I'm just gonna get right into the audio clips for you guys. But if you guys stick around, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about my personal thoughts of the Stam 87. Also show you guys what came inside the package. Ella no me ama porque ella llama a las 3 de la mañana y me dice mentiras. Ella no me ama porque ella llama a las 3 de la mañana para decirme mentiras. Ella no me ama porque ella llama a las 3 de la mañana para decirme mentiras. Ella no me ama, por eso llama a las 3 de la mañana para decirme mentiras. No tiene mi confianza. Descubrí quién eres tú. Rompe, rompe corazón, quiero hacerte sufrir como lo hice yo. So the Stam SA-87 came all the way from Chile in a box, and inside that box was this. This impressed me because for $1,000, I shouldn't be getting a hard case. And then once I look inside the hard case, there was the mic that you're currently listening to now. There was this shock mount. It came in this leather pouch. This is what it looks like inside. So when I make reviews, I don't like to get a product and review it immediately after I get it. I like to spend some time with it. I had this for a little while now, and I can tell you just based off the timbre of this microphone, it sounds like a U87. What do I mean? How can I say this sounds like a U87 without having a real U87 to compare it to? Well, it doesn't sound exciting, but it doesn't sound boring. That's exactly what a U87 does. I could pretty much put any other microphone in front of myself and it's going to do something to my vocal to alter it, make it more exciting. But what makes the U87 such a great tool is that whatever you put in front of a U87, if the source sounds good, the recording is going to sound good. But there's microphones that don't do anything to somebody. Sometimes a microphone doesn't sound good on somebody. Like some microphones bring out a lot of sibilance in a voice. There's other microphones that might bring out too much bass out of somebody's voice. Right now, I'm using this without a pop filter. It's not that plosive. I have to get really right up against it to the point where I'm probably hurting your ears. I'm not apologizing. There's a lot of opinions on U87s. There's people that like them. There's people that dislike them. And the argument that I always hear for people who dislike them, it's generally because it's not exciting. It doesn't bring anything to the table. There's mics that sound better. And I 100% agree. But if I agree with that, why do I like U87s? The reason I like U87s is because it just sounds good. Like, it doesn't sound bad. You know, the truth is you can take any mic and put it in front of any source, and as long as the source sounds good, it's going to sound decent, but it might not do anything to it. You might lose something, but that's the thing about the SA-87 or the U87. You're not losing anything, but you're not really gaining anything either. Other than that, this microphone also has the advantage that, like, it doesn't need a ton of gain like my SM7 does, because in reality, I put an SM7 right around the same category as this microphone, where anything that I put my SM7B in front of, it just seems to sound good. I haven't found a source that was good and put it in front of the SM7 that sounded bad after the recording. I can't say that's the same for something like my SM57, where I put somebody in front of that microphone and they were a pretty sibilant singer, and all of a sudden, all that sibilance is coming out. I don't think this microphone is going to tame sibilance, but it's also not going to enhance sibilance. It's like one of those things where it's like, this microphone is right in the middle, and then whatever I put in the source is just going to enhance it. My point about U87s is that they're not a microphone that people use because they do something magical to a voice or anything like that. It's a mic that's used like a tool. It just kind of puts things where they need to be, and then anything that you do after is just an enhancement. Like you add 10% here, you add 20% over here on a compressor, and all of a sudden, oh my God, you're 90% there, and now you don't have to do much in post when you're mixing. Just a quick example. Right now I'm using the Warm Audio SA-87 EQ. I'm not using any of the EQ right now. I'm just using the high pass filter. Right now I'm going to engage the tone switch, and all the tone switch is just an impedance switch. So right now I'm talking into the microphone without the tone switch engaged, and look what happens once I engage the tone switch. So now, as you can hear, the mic sounds, to me at least, a lot different. There's a lot more mid-range information. It's a little bit more forward. It's a little bit more sibilant now. I might want it to sound this way, maybe. But if I'm recording maybe more vintagey kind of sounding vocals, I might just want it to sound like this, where it's a little bit more tamed, darker, not exciting. There's nothing much going on here. I think the people who buy U87s with the intention that that's automatically going to be the end-all be-all mic, and I think they have it wrong. Honestly, there's only really two negatives to me, and they're really nitpicky. It's one, that the Stam logo on the front, whatever adhesive you're using, you got to get better adhesive, man. That logo keeps falling off, and I keep putting it back, and I don't want to, put any adhesive. If it falls off again, I'm gonna just let it be, and people aren't gonna be able to see, what brand this mic is, and I know that's important to you, as it's your name on the product. And two, it's the shock mount. It's cool. It works. It's really not that it's bad. It's just that I would like a better one. So whenever there's more money, I'll probably get one that I can screw onto the shock mount rather than have it just kind of like pushed in there and then like tighten in, and just so you guys can see, this is what I mean. It's not like the ones where on the bottom you screw it in. It's just like that. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about Stam audio, because this is where things get a little bit weird, at least for me. So first things first, I want to make sure that I say I don't have a beef with Stam audio at all. I know there's a lot of people that do. I'm just not one of those people. I do have my concerns and my things that I would like to address, because I just feel like they're aware of this stuff, but I just want to reiterate it so they really understand from a consumer standpoint how maybe I and a lot of other people feel. And that's that if I'm paying $1,000 for example, this microphone, I shouldn't be receiving email responses 3-4 days later, especially from a product that's coming all the way from another country, especially when it's not coming through a reputable dealer like Sweetwater, especially when you have a reputation like you do. If there's delays because of COVID and things like that, I understand. My whole thing is that when I first ordered the mic, I was told it was going to be sent in 10 days. It took about, I'm going to say, 2 months. To me, that's okay. I understand COVID and things like that. You should be given daily updates on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Anything wherever you communicate, you should be given daily updates. Like even if it's to ease people and let them know, hey, look, we're still working on this. This isn't our fault. There's not much we can do. I think most people will understand that. I think what you need to do now is work on a way to make people feel comfortable. Maybe it's one of those things where maybe you need a team of people who can communicate for you when you can't. And that's okay, but it's just something you got to keep in mind. To me, it's like if you want to avoid getting a lot of emails from people asking you the same thing over and over, where's my package, just do updates daily. It's not that hard. Be like, hey, look, I know you guys are waiting for this. We're working on it. You know, DHL, FedEx, UPS, they're taking too long, right? We as consumers would understand, especially in a time like this. That's just my personal opinion, and I hope that doesn't come off in a way where like you feel offended or anything like that, because that's honestly not my intention. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell if you guys want to be alerted whenever I upload a new video. Peace out, yo.